welcome to Still Speak Podcast. I'm bringing you a story. I saw it yesterday and I started to collect the information right away, but my goodness, it is such a confusing case at first, so piecing it together was a nightmare. And a lot of work goes into these videos because, I'm digging and I want to make sure that I get every piece of information I could get my hand on at the time. And so I decided to put it on hold and continue, looking into it today because the story was getting traction and I wanted to get this video out as soon as possible. But then midday today, the father of the little girl we're going to be discussing made a post implying that this little girl is no longer with us and is now with God. And originally, law enforcement had not made an announcement or confirmed this information, and the groups were kind of going wild over it. And at this time, the police have spoken about something that has happened, but they still have not located this little girl, either alive or deceased. But we'll get into that more at a later part of this video. This story is beyond words. It's so tragic, and it's the story of, and I really don't want to butcher this little girl's name, but it's difficult, so bear with me here. But it's the story of a little girl named Khaleesi Cuthriell. The name is spelled Khaleesi, and the last name is Cuthriell. This little girl was failed by so many people in her life, and she did not ask to be born, and she didn't have a say in her circumstance, and she could do nothing about her trials because she is or was an innocent little girl. Amanda Ari, Khaleesi's mother, called one of her sisters to come get the little girl because she was being arrested back in October of 2020. The sister, Jessica, dropped everything to go pick up her niece. While on the way there, Amanda called back to say, "Don't come," because Khaleesi was going to stay with one of her friends, and that this friend could keep her long term, and that she'd be able to bring her for visits at the jail. Now, on September 5th of 2021, an investigator called the sister, Jessica, because they were told that she had this little girl, that she had come and picked her up and, took Khaleesi. And the investigators were told this by the woman who had Khaleesi in her care by her father, okay? And on this same day, her sister Amanda called her from jail, and she had not spoken to Amanda since she went to jail. And she too asked her sister if she had Khaleesi. In this phone call, Amanda told her sister that this woman, and her name is Candy Warrior, had not allowed Amanda to speak to Khaleesi back in February of 2021, and that Candy claimed it was because CPS said that Khaleesi could not speak with her. In March, Amanda called in a wellness check. This is what she claims, and that she got nothing back about her daughter's welfare. So let's stop there for a second and discuss this, because this wasn't a normal case of CPS getting involved and, her losing custody of this child and CPS placing the child with a family friend before considering a foster home. In this story, it was Amanda, her mother, that got in contact with CPS to have them write up an official guardianship agreement that Candy Royer would be taking Khaleesi temporarily and during the duration of her time in jail. So yeah, this is really complex. So now let's go through this timeline that I put together here. So October of 2020, Amanda, Khaleesi's mother, goes to jail and places her daughter in the care of Candy Royer with the help from CPS, allegedly. November 8th, Candy made an official post introducing the little girl to her Facebook friends and followers. And in the comments, somebody, asked, whose child is this? And she said, quote, "At the moment, mine. Until her parents are able to care for her, I will," unquote. And in one of the pics, it actually appears she changes the name of her, the spelling of her name, because in the original post, she spelt it as the news is reporting it is spelled. But on one of the pictures, it says Khaleesee. So that's really strange. I don't know if she just maybe forgot how to spell it. I don't know, because the original post does have the correct spelling. So this is just odd. People reported they did see Khaleesi in November, December, January, and a little bit of February. But then, allegedly, Kandi had told her family that Khaleesi was removed and given to her aunt or grandmother, meaning her biological aunt or grandmother. On her Facebook page, there's no post or pics of or about Khaleesi for all those months since February. There are a few pictures from Christmas, but the pics are really unsettling. Khaleesi's face is never seen in any of the pictures. She appears to have dried blood on her ear and cuts near her ankles. And in addition to that, she was wearing a winter hat inside. And you kind of see her neck a little bit, and she just looked really frail. It was very strange pictures. I'm going to put them in this video. They made me feel very uneasy. On August 16th, Kandi Royer made this post, and she does curse in it, but I'm not going to say the curse word. I'm going to abbreviate it. Quote, "Well, I normally don't do this, but F it, let's get real. So about 2 weeks ago, Travis just decided not to come home. When he does, he waits until I'm gone, and he sneaks a skank W into my home. A home we share with our 3-year-old daughter. When he comes back the next day, he goes off on me and hits me, and tried to hit my 73-year-old dad, and he runs when the cops come. They issue a warrant, arrest him for assault, and give him bond. The day the protection order expired, he breaks in my window at 6 a.m. and comes at me again. I escape to the neighbor. They call the cops, and he runs again. The new protection order gives me the house, the dog, and Adelie, who can also have no contact with because he choked me while I was holding her, and she told the court. I tried to let him talk to her on the phone, but the first thing out of his mouth was, 'Your mom's a piece of blank.' So that ended quickly. Newsflash, I didn't walk out on her. He did. You can say you hate me or whatever, but you don't love someone 1 minute and hate them the next. Anyway, someone sent me this first thing this morning, and all I can do is laugh. Attention, ladies. God will never send you someone else's man, and you can't be soulmates to someone who has no soul. Good luck to you both. I like to ask all my friends to drop some money in their bucket when you see them in the media, and maybe someone will start them a GoFundMe account. They don't have a vehicle and are homeless. Someone tagged them since they blocked me." Unquote. And then she included a screenshot of a post by the woman that Travis supposedly brought to their home. Now, I'm not going to bother even showing you that, because really, in the grand scheme of things, this post that this woman had really doesn't matter. She just goes on about how how much she likes Travis, etc. On August 19th, Kandi posted a selfie of newly bleached blonde hair. On August 21st, Travis was named a fugitive. These are all the charges he's wanted for. Strangulation in Augusta County. Unauthorized use of a vehicle. Alter or deface serial numbers. Felony eluding. Grand larceny ×2. Breaking and entering. Carjacking. Trespassing. Destruction of property. Larceny. Assault and battery, contempt of court, and breaking and entering. And These span 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different counties. Well, with a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 charges. So yeah, he's a winner. On August 23rd, Candy shared a meme, and that is all the public posts as of recently. On September 3rd, Candy Royer was reported as missing. On September 4th, Amanda, Ayer, Khaleesi's mother, told a guard that she had not spoken to her daughter since February, and that Khaleesi was supposedly in the care of Candy Royer. It seems, based on this timing, that Amanda might have gotten wind or heard that Candy had been, reported missing, because it was the day after Candy was reported missing that Amanda told the guard this. On September 5th is when that sister received the 2 phone calls, one from Amanda from jail and a second from the investigators, wondering about the whereabouts of the little girl. On September 8th, after investigators spoke with family and friends, Khaleesi was then filed as a missing person too. Now this Travis, his name is Travis Brown, is the boyfriend of Candy Royer, and to say the least, he's a very troubled and dangerous person with a very extensive criminal history beyond the ones that he's currently wanted for. I'm blown away that this little girl was placed in the care of Candy with this man living in the home. From what I can tell, Candy has several kids, 2 of which are older. I could not pin down how many, but I've seen several times that she possibly has 6 total, but that 2 are older, and the oldest one does have a child, so she is a grandmother. However, Candy only had 1 of her children in her care, and it's been mentioned that this child is safe and in the care of a grandparent, but nothing has been mentioned about how this child ended up in the grandparent's care before Candy went missing, and the rest of her kids live with someone else. So this is a red flag, and it reminds me of the Samuel Olsen case that I uploaded last night, where Teresa Balboa was arrested for the murder of Samuel Olsen. She did not have custody of her own children, yet Samuel's father left his son in Teresa's care for weeks. It's similar circumstance here, that this woman did not even have her own children in her home except for 1, but brought in Khaleesi to be under her care. Oh, goodness, this is too much. I have a feeling the CPS thing may not be involved here. Time will tell and truth will prevail, but I've yet to see concrete proof that CPS indeed wrote up an agreement for Amanda involving her daughter being in the care of Candy. Now, Amanda's family has said that they typically don't speak with Amanda because of her poor life choices. She too has a very extensive criminal history, and I mean Amanda, Khaleesi's mother. She has a very lengthy history. And their family has custody of Amanda's other 3 children, and they feel that she likely backed out of the sister taking Khaleesi because she was worried that she would not see her again like her other children. This is what they think, why she did this. So another sister, Taylor, she commented on a Facebook page for the Augusta County Sheriff's Office, and she said that she had no contact with her sister in 14 years and that she's never even met her niece. The father of Khaleesi, his name is William, but it goes by the name Ted. Allegedly, the reason he did not take Khaleesi was because his son, who was living with Amanda, Khaleesi, and himself, had done something to Khaleesi. Ted then went to jail in March of 2020 for possession. He too has a lengthy criminal history. But he says that he's been sending Candy and Travis money to help with Khaleesi for the last 6 months, but that he had not seen or talked to his daughter. So as you see, there's a huge list of people who failed this child. So anyways, when this story gained traction, people were speculating that maybe this Travis, who's the father of Candy's daughter, that she did have custody of, had done something to Candy, since she had that post on August 16th about him choking her and fleeing police, etc. But it turns out police have released and confirmed that Candy and Travis were located together yesterday, and they had been taken into custody. Travis Brown and Candy Royer were arrested at the Knights Inn at 1215 South Main Street in South Greensburg, Pennsylvania. After their arrest, Virginia State Police and the Augusta County Sheriff's Office went to the jail to interview them. They, of course, did not share what was said in these interviews, but said the missing persons case for Khaleesi was still active and that they were happy that both of these people were in custody, but they will not rest until they discover the whereabouts of 3-year-old Khaleesi. The pair are being held in Westmoreland County Prison pending court hearings for their extradition back to Virginia to face numerous charges. The Augusta County Sheriff's Office is still requesting the public's assistance in obtaining any information on the whereabouts of Khaleesi. And those with information can call the Sheriff's Office at 540-245-5333 or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-322-2017. This story frustrated the heck out of me in the last 24 hours. You know, kid after kid is failed by every adult around them. People who are supposed to protect them. Now, depending on what Candy ends up being charged with, you know, she doesn't have any of her children. None of them now. And she'll also miss out on her granddaughter or grandson, whichever it is. And Amanda loses another one of her children. This makes number 4. One is most likely deceased. We shall see. I'm praying that she's not. But where the heck is she if nobody has her? You know, siblings have lost a sister that, you know, they never even got to meet and may never get to meet. And aunts, the same thing. They have a niece that they never have and may never will meet. And all of it is due to terrible life choices and decisions. We all have somebody in our families or know somebody who makes really bad life decisions. You know, alcohol at play, drugs at play, you know, so they end up with a criminal history. They do everything wrong. And it's a ripple effect to the people around them. And it's terrible. I hope that Khaleesi is found alive, but it's not looking good. I just can't imagine where this little girl could be if she's not in the care of the people who were supposed to have her or anybody connected to them or to her mother's family. So I'll update you when I have more information, but until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye.